let's hop into the edits. Got my tea, got a fresh battery. And the Sony, my microphone's going, and as far as I'm concerned, the Sony is recording. So yeah, let's get editing and stop procrastinating. So what I like to do is just start off with a good exposure, bring it up. I just look at the image as a whole. I don't worry too much about a singular point being overexposed, because you can always come back and bring back the highlights, and with the Sony A7 III that is easily possible. And contrast, I bring it up to about 80, between 15 and 25, depending on how I feel about the photo. And highlights, bring the highlights back a bit. And when I'm looking at the highlights, I'm looking at the bumper. I'm not too worried about what's going around in the background. My main focus is the car. Everything else can sit behind. So I still want to preserve details, and I want the bumper to look like I haven't photoshopped it in, because you can do that very easily. And when I'm looking at the shadows, I'm looking at the shadows in a whole view now. And that's now the car and the background, because now with the shadows on the car, pretty much just going to chuck a mask over that eventually, which you'll see now, and just restart that from fresh. There's going to be lots of animals coming up and down, and chose to sat in their yard, so that's fine. Yeah, I'm editing, boy. What, you don't approve? You think I'm crazy? Yeah, I think I'm crazy too. So I'm just looking at the whites as a whole on the image and seeing how that falls. Guess that's alright. Blacks I don't tend to do too much unless I want to crush a certain point, but I like where the blacks are falling, or unless we do that, actually bring it just so that it crushes. And we're going to fix that in a tone curve. All my photos, I bring up that, and then I kind of fix a general point of it. Okay, now let's look. So it's a bit too high, I can bring that back down a bit. You're gonna graze next to me, hey? Yeah, now that the cat's still around. It's this fine point between faded and like just clipping where I want it. And I'm just trying to find that spot. Okay, mid-tones, it's looking kind of good. Bring that back a bit, can skip this song. And whites, depending on the photo, you can see it's just mess with the tone curve. You can always find a nice point. It does well for the car. Looks pretty good. Okay. Shadows, I'm gonna do what every photographer does. 220, saturation 10, and go to the highlights, 30 and 10, and then balance. We'll see what it looks like on the cool side's a bit purple, but I kind of like it versus dark. I'm gonna go for a cool point. I'm just bringing a little bit of noise reduction in, because I was at 1600. It's fine, actually don't need to worry about that too much. I thought my ISO was a lot higher than that actually. So now that's done as a whole. That image, you could send it off, and it's not bad, but Adobe's got some really cool toys going for us now. So we're going to do a linear mask, bring that down, and just chuck that exposure kind of down, and what the nice thing about having that tone curve where we put it is we can't crush the blacks completely, which is awesome, so it still can stay in a natural point. And there isn't a sky to worry about, so now all I need to do is select subject, which I just leave it. I can sit back, I can have a sip of coffee, well, tea. Actually did a really good job. Just take out, so we can go there, go subtract, select with a brush, make that smaller, and just do a very nice brush, and remove that because that's part of the shadow of the class. I don't want to touch that too much because I can change how we look at it. Just bring that to 100% in, and look, that's a really good mask. So Adobe's done something right with their new update. So well done, Adobe. And within that mask, we are going to just take that out. I like to have it over there so I can actually see what's going on. Exposure. Sometimes I bring it down, sometimes I bring it up. Most of the time you want to bring it up, but in this point, bringing it up just seems too photoshopped in, is the best way I can describe it. I'm actually going to bring it down to get a bit of a more moody, and then we're going to go in with another mask and a linear one from the roof down. Drag that out a bit more, get it a bit straighter, bring that there. Okay, and red or gray on the window because it's quite a white point, and I feel like it's going to be a bit too distracting now that we decrease the car. Now back to the mask of the car, maybe mess with the highlights to bring it out a bit better. Shadows, so this is why I didn't touch the shadows too much earlier, because you can now completely change the shadows within the car here. That's at a nice point. So I actually brought it a bit down. I don't know, personal preference, I guess. And texture can go up, clarity can go up, and dehaze can go a little bit down. And done. So we've gone from that to that. Not really a massive difference. Just made the car pop a little bit more, not something too crazy. We want it to go a bit crazier, we can change the white balance a bit. I want this on the cooler side though. Ooh, not that cold. About 4,000 Kelvin. 4,000. 4,200 will be it. There we go. I like that. If we wanted to do something a little bit more interesting, aquas, just always bring those down. You'll always get an aqua reflection in your windscreen. Blues, keep a little bit in, but it is a white car, so reflections, and you can always do those kind of adjustments, but I don't like to do too much with an HSL, except maybe that complete desaturation of the aquas for windows. And blue primary, just bring that saturation up on the blue primary a bit and down on the red, and that's edit. That's 3 car edits in pretty much 30 minutes, but I'll probably skim this down to like an 8-minute video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like down below and comment other YouTube video suggestions, because honestly I have none. And go check out my Instagram because I got some interesting reels going and some pretty interesting ideas going for reels. So go check out the Instagram. Don't have to follow, just go check it out, or don't. Free will.